If we can just make it to Thursday, and lo and behold, we do indeed make it to Thursday because what a tip is saying, what's a bachal. Dumelang bagaetsho, I'm Tebogedi Tinti and welcome to Time with Tea. Thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me. Well, Time with Tea is a space that I created for myself when I just want to have a conversation with myself about something that would have crossed my mind at the time, or if I just want to share my opinions that absolutely nobody asked me for. And I come here and I do that. And today I found myself wanting to talk about relationships, and the reason for that is because somebody asked me about my relationship and what I'm doing to make it work. I can't even think that I found an answer at the time. I just gave them a generic answer. But what I like to do is when somebody asks me something and I think about it over time, I do want to come back here and give a long winded answer. So here is the long winded answer. My relationship is working with my partner because my relationship with myself is working. And I know here goes the therapy talk. And I like to give the therapy talk because I am an advocate for therapy because I benefited quite a lot from going to therapy when I needed to go to therapy. Excuse me. So, one of the most important relationship we can ever have is with ourselves. And until that one is working, there is no other relationship in our lives will ever work. And I don't think we pay enough attention to that fact because we focus most of our energy, if not all, in relationships with others. I know my relationship with my son is important to me. It's one of the most important relationships to me. My relationship with my partner is important to me. And then everybody else follows after that. But and I know that there are so many people who prioritizes relationships with other people way more than they prioritize relationships with themselves. And we take it so lightly. There are people who don't know what their favorite thing is. They don't know what their favorite color is. They don't know what their favorite meal is. They don't know what their favorite hobby is. If they do have hobbies, they don't know what they like to do pastime. They don't know what they like to do to unwind and to relax. They don't know. They have no idea who they are. But they expect to get into relationships and they expect other people to figure them out. And that is not fair because a relationship with oneself is what determines the kind of relationship you're going to have with everyone, with anyone after that, after yourself, or with a partner, with your kids if you have kids, with your colleagues if you have colleagues, with your bosses, with your family members. It's an extension. It has to start with you. And it has been said very, very many times before that another person cannot make you happy if you don't know how to be happy by yourself, because another person is just there to add to the happiness that you already have within you. Another person is only supposed to add to what you already have. So you cannot you cannot teach people how to treat you if you don't know how to treat yourself. You cannot expect people to respect you if you don't respect yourself. You cannot have and effectively communicate your boundaries if you don't know what your boundaries are. You have to know what makes you tick. I remember when I was writing my book, Remember November. I was because I made a conscious decision to be brutally honest with myself. And I couldn't believe some of the things that I would do, that I've done. I couldn't believe some of the things that I allowed to happen to me. And it's all because I had a strange relationship with myself. I had a strange relationship with myself. There was a time when I didn't like myself enough and I would do whatever. I would do things that made absolutely no sense because why would I do that? And as soon as I realized what was, then I was able to pinpoint and figure out what is it that I liked and what is it that I didn't like, and how I wanted to be treated and how I didn't want to be treated, and how I carried myself and how I wanted to be approached, and things like that, and how I wanted to be treated because I taught myself how to treat myself better. I started treating myself and caring about myself like somebody I loved. I started treating myself like somebody I loved, and like somebody I didn't want to lose. So I started protecting myself. I started speaking to myself with kindness, with gentleness, and understanding the power of words, and understanding the power of solitude, and understanding the power of sometimes having to create distance from the things that do not serve you. And for me to sit here and say, oh, it was so easy, it was such a walk in the park, I would be lying through my teeth. It was not easy. I had to go days without. And by without, I mean without a lot of things that I thought I needed. I had to go days without the people that I needed. You have to lose a lot in order for you to know what it is that you've lost. You have to go through some things in order for you to know how much you can handle and how much you can put yourself through, and just how much you can put up with things and how far you will go. So when I place my boundaries in place, I mean it, because I know what happens when people crosses a boundary with me. Therefore, sometimes you set boundaries not because you want to protect ourselves per se, but because I want to protect the next people, the next person, because I know how far my anger issues go, I know how deep they go, and I know my reaction and how severe how severe my reaction can be. And that's why we set boundaries. Sometimes boundaries are set to protect the next person, and until you get to that point as a person, it is my personal belief that you have no business being in a relationship. If you don't know how to make yourself happy, how do you expect the next person to know how to make you happy? If you don't respect yourself, how do you expect your other people to respect you? And we that's the thing that we that's the communication now, because in as much as everything is now so monetary, besides the money, you expect people to treat you a certain way, but are you worth it? Are you? Because everyone is an investment. When you spend time with somebody, you are investing your time in them. Are they worth it? When somebody spends time with you, they are investing their time in you. Are you worth it? Or are you just that person uzodiyo, usunamati? When people leave your presence, they are drained, they are tired, they can't even wait to get away from you. And as soon as they do get away from you, they do everything that they possibly can to not see you again for a long time, because that's what it all boils down to. What type of a person are you? And what makes you deserve all these things that you expect from other people? So, before we can even start talking about what other people should do in relationships and the type of relationships that you want and you deserve, what type of relationship do you have with yourself? How do you treat yourself to make other people say, hey, I want to be around her. I want to be around you. I want to be around that. Like, what energy are you putting out there?